It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? It is showtime. Showtime, y'all. All right. Time for the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live. That's right, you. Live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out on the West Coast. Please subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. You and everybody you know, everybody that you like, that you love. Folks you're not that crazy about, folks you can't stand, folks you hate. I don't care. Strangers, aliens from outer space, tell them all. This is must-see TV, the Geno Jones Show. And if you miss it live, shame on you. But guess what? I got good news. You can still watch it. Just go to my YouTube channel and you can binge watch all my back episodes. You don't need Netflix, YouTube, Hulu, Amazon Prime, because you got me, G, and the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Yes, she is coming back, my original co-host, my wing woman, because you know, see, like pilots have a wing man, but my wing man is a woman. Miss Kelia Karson returns to the Geno Jones Show, so y'all already know it's going to be fire. You don't want to miss it. So, 4 days until Election Day. Vote early if you can. As a matter of fact, in many states, this weekend is going to be the last day to early vote. Now, some states, I think you can actually early vote right up to Election Day. Check with the Board of Elections in the county you live in, the city, the county you live in, or the state. You either have Board of Elections or you have, like in Illinois, the Secretary of State's office. So check it out. Make sure you vote. To my young people, to my millennials, to my Gen Zers, please understand, you've got the power. Use it, because when you don't vote, you are giving people the power to use your power against you, to tell you as a young woman that your body doesn't belong to you. You don't control your body. You can't determine whether or not or when you have children, to force you to go through a pregnancy if you've been raped somehow, or to force a 10-year-old that's been a victim of rape or incest, to force her to have a child. Millennials, Gen Zers, young women, you have less rights than your mothers and grandmothers. We're not going backwards. What we're not going to do is go backwards. And for all you all say, well, the Democrats hadn't done enough. Listen, all right, the Democrats ain't cutting me a check at all. But you only got one party, at least one party, that wants to govern. You have a president. You have a president that basically, if you have a federal conviction, misdemeanor conviction for marijuana, guess what? That charge is gone off your records now. It's not hanging over your neck. Now, state charges, that's another story. That's a different conversation. Millions of people who had federal misdemeanor drug charges are now charges gone. Those child tax credits that you got last year when you really needed that money, $250 to $300 per child. That money, it took nearly half of the black children in poverty, out of poverty, until it ran out because the MAGA cult didn't want to help President Biden renew and extend the money. If you got diabetes, or if you got my millennials, Gen Zers, you may have a family member. Now, some millennials, my son-in-law is diabetic. He's in his 30s. Who wants to make sure that you pay no more than $35 a month for insulin, as opposed to paying $700, $800, $900? Think about the people that's trying to protect all of your rights, your voting rights, your civil rights, your women's reproductive rights, your rights to be a full citizen as a woman. The people that want to make sure that you could at least get a minimum wage of $15 an hour as opposed to $7.25. I can go on, but listen, go back and watch all my shows this Monday, Tuesday, Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday, Monday and Tuesday of last week, last Wednesday, I had Ronald Isley, Ernie Isley, the Isley brothers. Because I've been on one every day because trust me, and when people say you could lose a democracy, and they're, well, I'm worried about the economy. Well, if you don't protect this democracy, you're not going to have an economy. Because the only people who's really going to have money, see Russia, is the dictator and the dictator's boys. You do not want to lose a democracy. You think it's bad. Now, see, just look at the Jim Crow era or before Jim Crow. You got some folks that want to take us back to 1822 as opposed to 2022. It's real. The threats are real. You've already got the white nationalists and the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers and Three Percenters and all these racist, far right-wing militias that are open. They're not even trying to hide it. They are telling you what they're going to do and live streaming it on social media. You've got the power. Use it. And the people, the politicians that are trying to make it hard for you to vote and nullify your vote, they're doing that because they are afraid. Millennials, you make up the largest voting bloc, population-wise in America. You got baby boomers, Gen Xers like myself, millennials, Gen Zers. Millennials, you make up the largest group out of all those subgroups I mentioned. There are more millennials than there are baby boomers, than Gen Xers. I think Gen Zers and baby boomers are right around this. You all have the power, and it is your time. Allie just turned 21. My 21-year-olds, my 18-year-olds, my 25-year-olds, my 30-year-olds, my 35-year-olds, my 40-year-olds. You got the power. Use it before you lose it. And if you lose it, it may take you a long time to get it back. Shout out to my girl Tiffany Cross, the Cross Connection on MSNBC. I used to watch her every Saturday morning. They didn't renew her contract. So I got an issue with that. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to have to really do some digging and some investigation, undercover work. Shout out Tiffany. Tiffany is great. She is all about having them receipts and facts. She's fearless. So finding another job won't be hard. Hey, Tiffany, I'd love to have you as a contributor to the Geno Jones Show. All right, so come hang out with your man. Happy birthday to Sean Diddy Love. I don't know what, like every 30 minutes he changes his damn name. Sean Combs, a.k.a. Puffy, Puff Daddy, Mr. Diddy Love is 53 today. And Kyrie Irving, NBA superstar with the Brooklyn Nets, he apologized. Some people say finally. So he apologized for posting a link to a movie called From Hebrews to Negroes, a movie that's got some very anti-Semitic tropes, images. Full disclosure, I haven't seen the full movie, but I've talked to many reliable sources. I've talked to even black people who saw the movie. So there are some very racist, or anti-Semitic is racist, tropes. A trope is like a narrative. Like, they say all black people like fried chicken and all black people are this or that. They have tropes about Jewish people, about women, and so on. So this movie has some very anti-Semitic tropes, I think, in the movie. Is questioning the Holocaust, which is just foolish. That's just foolish. Anybody that questions the Holocaust, just shut up. That's like questioning the transatlantic slave trade. So just shut up. But sometimes a little knowledge can get you in trouble. Some people, you can have just enough knowledge to hurt yourself. So Kyrie Irving has been suspended for at least 5 days. So full disclosure, Adam Silver, the NBA commissioner, who's done a great job, as far as I'm concerned, really the best commissioner in all of sports, who is Jewish, is going to meet with Kyrie. So I hope America, even though we got so much going on, we got to be careful about distractions, but there's an opportunity. There's a saying, there's opportunity in chaos, and there's an opportunity for America and really just the global community to really educate itself. Now, I know there are a lot of folks that don't want you to know the truth. They call it, oh, CRT, and you're teaching my little 7-year-old white kid that they are responsible for slavery. No, dumbass, that's not what they're teaching you. But what we would like for 7-year-old white kids of all ethnicities and Hispanic kids and Asian American and Native Americans, that what happened to black people when they were enslaved, what happened to the indigenous Native American people, not just here, but all in the Caribbean, in South America, all the atrocities this happened to indigenous people all around the planet was wrong. When I was in school, I went to an elementary school from K to 8th grade, and I remember when they first taught us about the Holocaust. I felt horrible because I said, why? How could people be so mean and evil? These people, you killed them just because they were a certain faith or religion? How? It's so inhumane. So it tapped into my sense of humanity and compassion and empathy as a black child in elementary school. So I would hope that a white child in elementary school would learn about the horrors of slavery and say, wow, I want to make sure when I grow up that that never happens in this country or anywhere again. But you have people that don't want the truth taught. So there's opportunity in this Kyrie Irving situation to have a conversation, a really educated conversation. But get people who've got receipts, get your scholars, get credible theologians, people who, historians that's got facts, receipts, academics, people who have studied religion. Because here's the really ironic thing. All religions, this is not my opinion, this is a geographical fact. All religions originated on the continent of Africa, virtually in the same piece of land. Christianity, Judaism, Islam, all originated in that same piece of land. So that's a whole different conversation, but I just want to put it out there. And for the record, let me just say this, because if Kyrie didn't know better, I've said this before, this is where all of us need to have somebody that can save us from ourselves. If somebody could have told Kyrie, listen, dude, what you have to understand, what this movie, Hebrews to Negroes, represents to like the Jewish community, it represents what Birth of a Nation represents to black people. Birth of the Nation, one of the most racist movies in the history, to where you had white people in blackface portraying these black men who were like rapists and just criminal, and you had the Ku Klux Klan with their hood and robes riding in on the white horse to save the white women from the animalistic black Negro or N-word rapists. That was a movie that was shown in the White House. It was screened in the White House for President Woodrow Wilson. So that should tell you something about Woodrow Wilson as the president. So somebody should have told Kyrie, hey, yo, man, this movie, listen, it's got some of the same racist stereotypes and tropes that Birth of the Nation does. That's why it's offensive to the Jewish community. And even you, Kyrie, say you don't agree with everything. So when you don't know, talk to somebody that knows more than you do. Somebody that's got the receipts and the facts. Speaking of somebody that's got the receipts and the facts, I am amped. I'm amped every show, but like I said, my wingman, who's a woman, my wing woman is back. The original co-host of the Geno Jones Show. She is back, ladies and gentlemen. She, by the way, media personality, businesswoman, and a professor. She teaches at a college in Michigan. You see her on screen rocking that blue, looking all, look at you. Miss Kelia Karson.
Hello, Geno.
I just, Fridays it just ain't the same without you there, Key.
So, you notice my background.
Yes. You balling, girl. Look at you.
You, you know where I'm at with it. After next Tuesday, when I cast my vote here in Michigan, this is where I'm at with it. I'm into the holiday spirit.
I see.
I'm going to cast my vote, do my due diligence, and take ownership of who I am as a human being on this planet.
I love it. I love it.
Cast my vote to make sure Gretchen Whitmore
Yeah, real talk.
stays in office because Tutu, yeah, I'm going to cast my vote on Tuesday, and then I am going to celebrate the holiday season.
I like that. So, Key, let me, you know what, in real time, when you mentioned Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who's done a great job, and they
Yes.
threatened to kill this woman, kidnap her, tie her up, blow up
Yeah.
her bridge, kill Michigan State Police, and sickness.
Yeah.
Now, Tudor Dixon, for those who don't know, is a woman that's running for governor. But, you know, because we was talking about the situation, the whole controversy with Kyrie Irving and the anti-Semitism, but then we got the anti-blackness with Kanye and so many other people. But when you mentioned Tudor Dixon, and I just want to get your take as a woman, I've learned, like, black people, you have black people who are anti-black, who espouse white Christian nationalism hate. I've talked to some Jewish friends that said, listen, there's some Jews that are anti-Semitic. I said, I understand that, because we got some black folks that's anti-black. But there are women that espouse the misogyny and sexism that the men who are misogynistic and sexism,
Well, I mean,
help me
Geno.
with that.
Well, I mean, Geno, that would be like me trying to help you with
I'm sorry.
all men think alike, or all you
But
know what I'm
I'm just trying to get your perspective. I know they don't, but
Yeah.
you can still speak to it from a perspective I can't. So just help. I
Yes.
want you to help me educate me and my viewers from your perspective as a woman and as a black woman, because that's like the double whammy: the
Right.
sexism, misogyny, and the racism.
Exactly. Yeah, when you look at some of the candidates, because you were speaking specifically of Tudor Dixon, who is a candidate, for those who are not quite following us, for the governor
Michigan, and
in
your state
Michigan,
in Michigan.
and she's Republican. And she's running up against our current governor, Gretchen Whitmer.
But let me say this, Key, is Tudor, because she come across like she's in that MAGA cult.
Well, yeah, she's very, connected with the Voss, Betsy, if you all remember. As I buck my eyes.
Yeah.
So she's very well connected with those who are connected with Trump and the higher ups in the MAGA community. But yeah, it is disappointing when you see people voting or speaking on behalf of things that don't serve them.
Yes.
It's odd. It's odd.
Yes, that part, yes.
And that's the best word I can come up with. It's that what did Arsenio Hall used to do? Things that make you go,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, why would you do things that are set up against you to hurt you, to harm you, to harm the cultural group that you belong to? Because women, we are a cultural group. You know what I'm saying? Black women is a cultural group. People who wear glasses are a cultural group. Why would I vote against a bill that says I shouldn't be able to wear glasses when I damn near would be blind without them? So it's weird. One of my friends, she's so articulate, but sometimes it just gets down to the point where she calls things weird. And when you find people like Tudor who are going against things like abortion, women's rights, okay, you go, I mean, everybody has a right to believe in what they believe in, but there are some things that just hurt people.
Yes. Yes.
Okay? And when you're voting for things that hurt people, harm people, hold people back, deny them of their rights, that's weird.
Yeah. Among other things, it's for me, it's evil. This is
Well,
my editorial.
exactly.
It's
I'm trying
evil.
to
It's sinister. It's how you go.
I'm trying to use a kinder
Yeah.
word,
Well,
but
that's what you got me for. You're the kinder, gentler version of me. So yes.
right. Yeah, it's just darn weird. And when I see someone in pantyhose voting against issues that involve the advancement of women, the rights of women, the need for women to exist equally with equity, I don't get it. And so yeah, it's a no for me for sure. And there are other reasons for my voting for our current governor Whitmer. But Tudor, yeah, she's just a no. When you start digging in the weeds, Geno, that extreme stuff starts coming out. It's like,
Yes.
what? Why do we have to be so extreme with it?
And Key, let me just jump in and say this. Here's the because hypocrisy. Because I want to deal with some hypocrisy. I'll get your take on Kyrie Irving. Um, like I said, and he was just foolish. But a little knowledge, and you can speak to this a little later on. Being a professor, some people get just a little knowledge and then think that they can be a professor. Just because you read a book, don't mean
Yeah,
that you can be a professor.
that is what has kind of given fuel to the conspiracy theory crowd.
Yes.
Yeah, they get just enough, and then they run with it. They
Right.
don't read everything.
Right. Or they twist
Okay?
it and remix it and
Sure.
distort it and the whole 9 yards. But what I want to touch on about hypocrisy when it comes to just a woman's right to determine what to do with her body. The men who are passing these laws, Key, okay, I'm a man. Now, arguably, I can't speak for every man, but in this case, I can speak for every, or as Nelly would say, man. A man would never, Spike Lee said, never, 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 ever tolerate nobody telling him what he could do with his body.
Yeah.
God, Jesus,
Yeah.
Muhammad, Allah, all name Abraham, Moses, all of them could come down here in the flesh, and men would be like, "Oh, y'all all can kick rocks, because none of y'all gonna tell me what to do with my body." If men brought life into the world, if men had to do the vaginal births and the C-section and the breech babies, you could go to every tailgating party this weekend all across America and get a brat and some fries and an abortion. You could go to every strip club in America. You could go to Magic City. I don't know if Blue Orchid or whatever the one is in Detroit. You could go to any strip club in the VIP room, get a lap dance, some lemon pepper wings, and terminate a pregnancy all before the club closed.
Yeah, well, I mean, listen, when you haven't had to go through a thing, all you can do is assume, right? Um, Giving birth, hello, men out there, and even women who have not had children. Giving birth is serious. It's painful. It's scary. But those are all the surface things. Having a child is a lifelong commitment
Please say that
to an
word.
individual. That the emotional toll that comes along with being a parent, this is after birth, after the hospital and the epidural and all of those things and the labor pains and the 9 months of getting to that point. It is a lifelong commitment. Your child could be 44 and you're worried, where are they,
And you,
how are they doing?
yes,
They're their children, being a grandparent, the financial
Come on,
implications.
that
This
part. Come
is,
on with that part. Right there. Right there. That part. Say that
yes,
part right there.
it turns your world upside down, inside out, and some days it could double you over in pain without any infliction. Nobody hit you, nobody, you just hurt for your babies. So when you say to someone that, no, but we don't care about any of that, we're going to force you to have this child.
And
And
Kiki,
you're
let me
not
just say,
ready mentally.
let
You're
me.
not
I want you to speak to
ready.
that. I didn't mean to cut you, but I want to piggyback on what you were saying because I've seen some data. Because I'm going to do my homework, and I know you have too. A significant number, if not a majority of women who have terminated pregnancies. Let me get that off the screen. In America, in the U.S., they already have a child or children,
Yeah. I
and
mean, listen.
they're making a decision. I can't afford another child, or the last child I almost died, and you've got, my grandmother used to call it being pregnant in the tubes, ectopic pregnancies. And man,
Yeah.
you're a woman. I
I mean,
know, appreciate
there's so many things, Gino, and I know we don't have a lot of time, but when you force someone to have a child who is not ready for whatever reason there is, it's not fair. And who are you to tell me what I have to now deal with for the rest of my life? Okay? You are telling me that I have got to do this for the rest of my life. There are people who are in relationships that they don't want to be in a parenting relationship with that other person. And now you're saying, hey, you stuck to Johnny Boy or Jimmy John for the rest of your life. So that it's just too much. But before you go, Gino, I want to, because I'm celebrating Christmas, and I know it's not Christmas yet, but as the unofficial start to your Christmas blackout, because I gotta go. That's why I got this on. I want to just shout out. It says Black Money Gear.
Oh,
Um,
I love that.
Yes, Black Money Gear.
Okay.
I bought this. I buy everything for the holidays so that I know I spent my money. My friend Ernest, that's his company, so I'm very proud of him.
Okay.
And then guess what we got early here? I don't know if you can
What?
see
Yes.
the Telfar. So
Telfar.
my daughter ordered early because ordering from black companies, we got to get going.
Yes.
It's the beginning of November, and getting that stuff delivered. This took 9 weeks thereabouts.
Well,
So
shout out to Telfar. It's Telfar, right?
yes, that's
Shout out
it.
to Telfar. Shout out to Ari, because my baby girl who just turned 21 Wednesday, Allie, I remember her like 3 or 4 years ago when Telfar first came out with bags. She
You
was one
told
of the
me.
first. That's what I told you. She was one. I was like, "Who's?" She said, "Yeah, this Telfar, Dad. It's a black."
Yep.
So she was before Beyonce. She was way in the front
Yep,
of
yep.
the.
My daughter mentioned Beyonce today too. And so I'm just saying to people, as we get ready to go to the polls, cast our votes for the issues and the programs that we hold near and dear to us. To also remember that after we vote, the holiday season kicks in. We want to support our black owned companies, our black and brown owned companies. So that they can have another good year, another prosperous year, and we can say that we support it and seed it into our own communities. But get started early because there's a lot of things going on with shipping and all of that stuff, which slows the process down. So we got to get going.
Absolutely. So I got about 3 minutes. So before I let you run, before I lose your live shot,
Okay.
I want to speak on this other part of hypocrisy. So
Okay.
we know Jeff Bezos with Amazon, the whole 9 yards. So
Yes.
Jeff Bezos, apparently, him and Jay-Z are trying to buy the Washington Commanders, the NFL team, where you got the problematic racist, sexist owner Daniel Snyder, who's like, well, I got dirt on Jerry Jones and the rest of y'all. So I guess it got to the point that where they just say, yo, dude, yo ass gotta go.
Gotta go.
You ain't gotta go home, but you got to
But
get
you
the
can't
hell
say
out of the
anything.
NFL.
Yeah.
So, but why do I bring this up? I hope that the media and everybody, because I'm starting it right now, I hope when people talk to Jeff Bezos, they ask Mr. Bezos, why are you allowing this video that is an anti-Semitic video with anti-Semitic propaganda in it, the same video that Kyrie tweeted the link. Why are you platforming this? Why are you selling this movie on your platform?
Well, I mean, listen, this is a free country. I'm not going to get into this argument with you or anybody else. It's a free country. He has his rights just like you and I have ours. I don't subscribe to them, which means you won't be getting my money. And the best way to fight nowadays with issues like that is keep your money in your pocket. Go get you a Telfire. Go get Angie Martinez's new book. Jamel Uphill.
Jamel Hill. Shout out to Jamel's new book.
Her book is Uphill. Angie Martinez, I think, is My Voice.
Yes.
Yeah, go do that. Go see Black Panther. And support.
See if you haven't seen, of course, Till.
Till.
We're gonna see this tomorrow.
We'll be going
see Till. But I just real quick key in about 60
seconds. Yeah, just stop.
But here's the thing. So because the NFL, they got to answer this question. Are you going to allow a person in the league who is allowing one of his business platforms to sell? Yes, he has a right to, but if you are selling anti-Semitic material, then people are they're gonna question you on it. You got to have an answer.
Absolutely. If you're gonna find Mr. Nutty Cuckoo, and well, he's gonna donate $500,000, right?
Yeah.
Along with the team, are they donating?
Yeah, I think yes, the Brooklyn Nets. Yes, you're right.
Yes. So, I mean, if you're gonna do that, then you certainly can't be two-faced, talking out both sides of your neck.
Okay, come on.
And then support that. Yes. So you're gonna have to make a choice, and you're gonna have to come out in the light and say, well, yeah, we do two things. We're hypocrites, and
come on, that's
what we do.
That's my Kelia Karson right there. Yeah. She just dropped the mic. Kelia Karson. Everybody can follow you where?
Oh, I'm Kelia Karson everywhere. On Facebook, on Instagram. I just keep it simple.
I don't know how long I'm gonna do Facebook. I mean, Twitter. I don't know how long.
Yeah, I started to hit that delete Elon, because I'm holding off to see what Elon.
Yeah, he's another. We're gonna have to talk about him too because he's very problematic too. So. Yeah. Right. So your money don't give you a right to be hateful or promote any kind of hate speech in any form or sexist, misogynistic. I don't care how many billions you got. It doesn't make you right. Your money don't make you right. It just gives you a resource to buy shit, but it don't make you right. So be careful with it. Kelia Karson.
Bye, Geno.
Mother tell me.
Yes, say hey.
Oh, she tell hi. I love her. So I love you, Key. All right. So hopefully after the midterms, I'd love to have you Tuesday, but you have class. So hopefully next Friday, I want you to come back and give me your take on the midterms and whether or not we got this democracy. What the hell? What's next? Because you and I are about action. It's like, okay, so now what are we gonna do?
Yep, I got the faith that we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be all right.
And if not, Key said, "Don't worry, I got it. Like Elizabeth Warren, she said, I got a plan for that too." Thanks, Key. I love you. Thank you.
Love you.
All right, Kelia Karson. That's my people right there. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you, and especially you. And God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. Come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out in Los Angeles. Subscribe, share, like, and binge watch all my back episodes. I want to thank everybody for watching me live. So we got folks, Friday, I always get a lot of viewers on Fridays. And shout out to Groove Master Dre and my mom, Mary Dixon, and everybody else that's watching me live. The next live edition of the Geno Jones Show is going to be Monday, which will be Election Day Eve. It'll be one day and counting till Election Day Tuesday, November 8th is Election Day. Vote early if you can still vote early. Don't wait until Tuesday. Vote now. Shout out to Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist. You see, keep your boy right of the Geno Jones Show. He is the CEO of Designer Cuts in Goose Creek, South Carolina, part of the Charleston, South Carolina Metro. You can check him out on Instagram, Kel Be Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones, the birthday girl. Check her out on Instagram, fashion design major, Columbia College, Chicago. Shout out to the Columbia College Chicago Cougars, my alma mater. And she's a supermodel. On Instagram, you can see LX.NCL underscores, that little dash below. L like Lexi, X like extra, dot, N like Nancy, C like Charlie, L like Lexi, then underscore. And shout out to Bruce Gage, also wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check him out on Instagram. It's Miglio Di Mario Uomo, MIGILIODIMARIOUOMO. It's an Italian name. Miglio Di Mario Uomo, MIGILIODIMARIOUOMO. Have a great weekend, everybody. Go back and binge watch all my back episodes. Last Wednesday, not the Wednesday that just passed, the Wednesday before that, check out my conversation with Ronald Isley, Ernie Isley, the Isley brothers. They got something going on with Beyonce they're going to tell you about, and Ronald Isley's got something going on that's going to be going on with Snoop D-O-double-G. They tell you all that. They'll tell you about this big tour, like they're on tour now, but they're about to go on a big tour next year. I'll tell you all about that. Go check out that show and binge watch all my back episodes, everybody. I love each and every one of you. Mother, you know I love you more than life itself. As always, be blessed. Pray for peace. Now go back and binge watch all my back episodes of the Geno Jones Show. Thanks, everybody.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.
It was always my ardent desire to come back home and serve my community.
Hello, I am Dr. Shardell Murray, and I am your state representative for District 116, serving Charleston and Colleton County. And I humbly seek your support November 8th to re-elect me, Dr. Shardell Murray, for your next state representative. You want someone who's compassionate, who knows the wants and needs and the desire of the people in the area, and someone who will fight for you. So let me continue to be your voice on November 8th. Please go out and support me, Dr. Shardell Murray, for your next state representative. And experience matters at the Capitol.
So I know what it takes to make a community thrive. So I'm humbly seeking your support. It was always my ardent desire to come back home and serve my